Today inside the program, we go talk to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, when Alpha Sesay. We go give updates about the constitutional review process, talk about the tripartite recommendation and other things we get to do with the justice sector. Well, for sake of that, I want to welcome the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the studio, when Alpha Sesay. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, and good morning to you team, and good morning to the people of Sierra Leone.
Okay. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice in office in a critical position, and the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, they serve as chief legal advisor to the government, who side in on they provide legal advice to the president, governments, ministry, departments, and agency them, and self only represent the state by legal procedure them, and plenty other thing them. Anything we get to do with law, constitutional review process, now the Attorney General in office responsible for that. Inside December 13 last year, President Julius Madabiobi appoint Alpha Sesay, when I be the Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice, for be the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Let me come over to you. President Biodo appoints you first, you now being the Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Now we don't be the Attorney General. Take me through how it sound like for you, you be the serve as deputy, now you don't be the minister at the office.
Well, first, I want to say very many thanks to His Excellency President Bio for the confidence in me, for where he appoint me as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. As you know, I don't serve as Deputy Minister in that same ministry day, and before for about 1 year, 5 months. So, I think for make a president decide for elevate a deputy to that position, because they're pleased with the work we have been doing as deputy. And I think so for any lawyer, now a great honor for make you be appointed Attorney General and Minister of Justice for your country. But the point is that how you repay that faith day, now very important. One, now for continue for maintain the confidence of my boss, really meeting expectations and exceeding expectations, and President Bio gets a very clear vision of how Ewame could deliver justice for this country. He gets a very clear vision of how he wants the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice to be positioned, for really provide a guidance to the government, so that anything we government they do, we operate within the ambits of the law. But also, I think, say, for me, and for the president as well, how we make sure, say, me time that this office has to work for the people. As President Bio like for tell we make we, when we talk about the justice process, when we talk about delivering justice, make we be informed by our own humanity. Make we think about the people, make we try for close the trust deficit between the public and public institutions. Make people and get confidence in the justice delivery process, and make sure, say, then see them as service with government supposed to render to them. So that now the way I see this work here so going forward.
So you now be the Deputy Minister of Justice and Attorney General, then now you don't be minister now, and you head that office the waiting different in terms of the work we they do as deputy, now you're not the minister.
Well, one major difference that everybody gonna know is that I can say there's a difference between the deputy and the substantive minister. As much as the deputy, they provide support to the substantive minister, the decision making powers that the ministry rest with the substantive minister. So yes, that's not the major difference. Of course, now as Attorney General and Minister of Justice, it carries more responsibility. You basically carry responsibility for the entire office. You carry responsibility for the entire sector, right? As deputy, that is secondary. So that is really different. But the point is that I think it really also really provide immense opportunity for use this time here so for all the workway. I don't do during the course of my career as a human rights lawyer, as somebody we don't be very concerned about strengthening access to justice, as somebody we don't be very concerned about reforms in the justice sector. It's an opportunity for lead from the front on the issues then they. So definitely yes, I would tell you say a different in terms of title, yes, in terms of responsibility, in terms of decision making. Now that's not for downplay the work where a deputy minister they do. I think say whilst being a deputy minister, I provide a lot of support to the person then when I be Attorney General, Mr. Mohamed Lamin Tarawali, and same with the person that we don't become deputy, Madam Sabtu Sako. We all know the amazing work we do at the Office of Registrar General, the Office of Administration Registrar General, and so far we don't take off on an amazing journey. She's been a strong pillar of support, and I'm the way with the work, your title could be different, but when it comes to responsibilities and decision making, we not even want to make difference between the minister and the deputy. We want to do this together and deliver it for the people of Sierra Leone.
Let me queuing from what you don't talk, the relationship we've been doing that exists between your former boss, your direct boss by the one I'm I go describe that one day so far, during the time they want to serve that one office there.
Oh, we had an amazing relationship. Mohamed Lamin Tarawali like a big brother to me. Not to the ministry that we meet. We go years back na university. We been there for big college, been senior in a college, so since then we don't get big brother, small brother relationship. I'm a senior as well as we also comrades of the Radicals Club, so I'm a very senior comrade. He hold me hand and walk me through the comradeship, and then of course also in practice he's always been my senior. And Chambers of Yada Williams and Associates, and then coming to the ministry, we always keep that relationship and really try to work very closely together. Give me things that we are supposed for lead on, and when I manage and report to them, and so that's not the relationship we get.
For plenty ministries, the mobile past years when they get complaints say deputy and the boss not can see one side. We don't need to bring so many kiosks in the office and make at times the office not able to deliver effectively. Doing then telling the way we serve as deputy and I'm the serve as the minister. Was there any time we when I get clash with perhaps you feel like say that one day they are more the work?
No, we don't ever get clash. Like I say, they give me things that we are responsible for, and I report to them, and then of course, I provide support for the broader issues them, where in self the lead on, and I guess people can talk. So yes, minister and deputy, people are never able clash, people are never able any crisis in the office, and so we work together very well.
Okay, you don't mean now the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General. They tell we be there as deputy according to you don't be the supportive former boss for say unable push the justice sector go before na the country. Being the minister now, waiting at some of the things them we be able for come with as you still do for say people still get trust na the justice sector.
Well, one of the things that we have been the lead on now for make we take President Bio in vision na the new direction manifesto we reflected na the medium-term national development plan and take that and translate them into what we call the justice sector reform strategy. Being able to work with the various justice sector institutions, and I talk about judiciary, Human Rights Commission, Legal Aid Board, Office of the Ombudsman, and of course, other institutions where go say strict to senso, then under the ministry then they, but because they are part of justice delivery chain, then have been involved in a correctional service, Sierra Leone Police, Independent Police Complaints Board, etc., etc. Mobilize all in one ending, and then we put together what we call the justice sector reform strategy. We present we've been launched last year in September. The Brookfield Hotel. Yes, I've been the lead on that, and it is one of those things where we don't ever see like say not just work for a few months or not for 1 year. Now a bold vision on how we transform the justice sector and really alter the justice delivery process in a positive way from now to 2030. We say 2030 because we time to the life of the medium-term national development plan. We're now 2024 to 2030. So the goal is that we will work on that over the next several years, and really, use that for transform the way we deliver justice. It will mean say we strengthen the justice delivery process within the judiciary. Just a couple of weeks ago, I've been launched the process for develop a blueprint on how we digitize the justice delivery process, and really use that for ensure say there's effectiveness and efficiency in the justice delivery process. We catch up with modern times, as we don't see in several other countries, and we use that process for also ensure say there's transparency in the justice delivery process, and really, transition to what people can call an e-justice system. So basically, it means saying we get rid of too many paper filings. We are in people able to do things electronically. So that process they on. I also been the lead on the constitutional review process. Where I don't continue for lead on. And then of course, me have been part of the tripartite committee, where we make several recommendations, and on the lead, on how we implement the recommendations, especially the recommendations we get for do with legislative reforms. Okay. So I don't lead on the one.
You know, also simply for talk about the tripartite process so far and the constitutional review process, which will arrive shortly. But before we get to under, you don't talk a lot with regards to what you don't do so far as the minister since you take up of office. You don't emphasize more on the electronics system for CC people able to access the service digitally. But one thing we for make these officers will become prudent and people able for like actually get service one of the render get for do that one they get for do it. So far the trust way for them at the justice sector. What you don't do in this area?
Well, so for ensure the public get trust in the justice sector and justice delivery process. That now waiting we reforms say about. Like I said, the justice sector reform strategy. We lay out 4 strategic objectives. One, now how we strengthen access to justice through a people-centered approach. 2, now how we expedite the justice delivery process by developing a very good case management system. 3, now how we strengthen human rights and rule of law, and then 4, now how we strengthen justice sector institutions for effective service delivery. Now, them 4 strategic objectives, and then get about 18 key policy areas, and then 18 key policy areas, and then get about 80 key activities. We, if we implement the one, and then once we implement the one, and then we will build trust. But the point is that we inform by data. One, we are aware, say, as much as we can say the courts crowded, yes, they are, and that is why as part of the reform process, we try to reduce the backlog in cases, and reduce them bottlenecks with the cause delays, right? In delivery of judgments, then in the all after, because it's not like hospital, right? When you go to hospital, you want for sure say then give the treatment where you deserve. Now, so the court system there, where you go to court, you want for say you get the justice where you go for, and we can say justice not for be delayed. We need to address anything and then you understand for make sure say the public get trust. But really, we also are saying the percentage of the population where they get the justice needs met through the courts, it's under 30%. That's a significant number. So we invest in reforming the justice system by reforming the courts, but then also we invest in other processes where they're outside the court system. For example, we know say a lot of people in there within a hard to reach areas. We know say a lot of people in there, the kind disputes that they can get, they go better handled outside the court system. And so that is why through the legal aid board, we want to strengthen the work of community paralegals. So we will deploy more community paralegals than the 190 chiefdoms who get across the country. And then, we also are in discussions now about what we call a mediation bill. We with that, of course, even though right now we get mediation, traditional leaders and they mediate disputes, legal aid board, they do Human Rights Commission, they do Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, they do. We want for system we institutionalize mediation. So for certain kinds of disputes, they don't really need for Kana courts, right? And the people then can decide, say, let them go for mediation. We say a quicker, a cheaper, a less acrimonious, and they really make sure say there's cohesion in society.
Okay.
And sometimes, people go kind of court, the magistrate or the judge for able to tell and say, this now for go into mediation. We also want to make sure say we deploy justice hubs across the country. We are in people come there not because they get dispute, but because they get justice needs we want to be met. At the end of the day, the way we look at justice, we want to look at justice as service. Like how government they look at health and education. We are in government say within every 5-mile radius, picking them for able to get access to some school or people for able to get access to some healthcare facility. That's what we want to look at justice, not only in the context of the courts, but we want for CC within a reasonable distance, people them across the country able for access some form of a justice system, whether na court you matter there or whether na access to a community paralegal. whether access to a mediation center or whether you able to gain access to one of the justice hubs here so we will deploy across the country.
Okay, after the 2023 general election, the main opposition when the APC party be get concerned for sake of how the election then be come out. Outside them be saying no being agree for sake of the election and safe been tapped some of them, member of parliaments, them, chairpersons, mayor, and safe councillor, them not for take part per governance. Because of that, they say they want somebody we go come mediate with them when they not being agree for say may somebody in this country come together and do outside them be agree say make international people then come when the moral guarantor them, the peace commission and other people them. So the government's been set up a committee. Outside different people and they do then call it tripartite committee for look at issues then we get for do with electoral reforms and other one them. And one post will be they represent government so be there in all the meetings them say they at the end of the day then go submit the report to the president. Talking about the tripartite implementation of the recommendation them, you didn't ask the Minister of Justice and said somebody will be done they represent na this committee. How far we there in terms of the implementation?
Well, we don't make significant progress, but first when we talk about the history of the entire process, we lead with to get the called the tripartite committee. Yes, international partners in camp, but I also want to acknowledge, say, the institution will really start the engagement, now being the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. I can always make we acknowledge the important role with local actors they play in them process here. So when the Independent Commission engage both parties, now they agree for get together on the table and then get support from international partners who we see then come and work with you for get to this point. And the Independent Commission don't continue for being one of the moral guarantors where they guide the process. I just want for make we acknowledge that. And then now we go into implementation of the tripartite recommendations. Yes, we don't make progress. I would say significant progress. Now, I say significant progress because when people talk about the process, it's been slow. Been in discussions with one of the partners recently, we also been talk about the time frame. Where I say, if you actually go to the tripartite report, the timeline where the report states for some of the recommendations, then the timeline not even reach it, but government is already making progress. I point out a recommendation with the timeline actually in March 2027, but we are now trying to make sure say it go through immediately. So here are a few things we government don't do. One, government immediately after the reports come out, the president makes sure say it was tabled in parliament and in cabinet rather, and then cabinet being therefore approve the report. And then after that, president set up an oversight committee which chaired by the chief minister. Now waiting, we ensure say happen, we make sure say we make that oversight committee broadly representative. So we get government ministers represented there, we get political parties represented there, including the APC, we get representation there. We get local councils represented there, you understand, the mayor of Freetown, mayor of McKinney, and the other councils then. And then, we get civil society groups like I say, Slash Dede, Chardy Dede, etc. So we're working together. Next step, of course, government don't set up the secretariat. We're headed by Golokata. We, spend a lot of years in civil society and get extensive experience. I'm working on electoral systems, not only in Salon but across the African continent. And in the head, that secretariat, they don't put together a small team where they work on, rolling out and implementing these reforms. Now we also make sure, say, immediately, some institutions that are implicated in the report, take the report and look at the aspects and the way apply to them and use them for get their own internal planning process. We do so with the PPRC, but then also we subject the Electoral Commission to a functional management review. Not only a review process where happen internally, but bring in the International Federation for Electoral Systems, IFES. We're not a US-based institution. They work with the PSRU, and they don't undertake a functional management review. Detailed functional management review for the ECSL, and then you come out in like I say, PPRC don't do the same. Judiciary then say don't process the report and see how then set fit in. But then of course we also get a lot of legislative reforms.
What about ECSL?
Yeah, now ECSL, now they don't do the functional management review with the support from IFES. They don't do that. And
they permit all within the recommendation and state about them.
Of course.
Just for bringing listeners up to speed.
Wait, sorry, is it in?
They're able for bringing limit all the recommendations.
If they're able for
meet the recommendations.
Well, so it's a process. For me, the recommendations are a process, right? Take note, say, you get for.
But then one institution so far, people vehemently point finger up and say, don't they refuse for do certain things them.
No. So let's take a step back. So first, for acknowledge, say, when we've been there, the tripartite committee, which I serve on behalf of the government, we invited several institutions for come before the committee. The ECSL come, full leadership, the chairperson and the other commissioners and then technical staff, then come, then sit down with we for over 2 hours. We get a long back and forth with them, then provide answers to questions then where we ask. Right? We accommodate, now we don't come to the report. The ECSL non subject itself to functional management review, like I say. That functional management review, now they come out with a report where they lay a lot of recommendations on how you review systems within the ECSL and all. And so the ECSL, the subject itself to that, and so rolling them one and they out, now a process. And then you come to the legislative reforms, right? You get the Public Elections Act, where really, they guide the conduct of elections in this country. The tripartite committee recommend, say, about 26 provisions. Now the Public Elections Act need for be amended, need for be reviewed, and then it also suggests 3 new provisions. We for the day. Now we did in the process of taking those to legislation. Now, in addition to them provisions here, so the Political Parties Act, when PPRC they use for really regulate the conduct of political parties. 5 provisions in we then say need for be amended.
Okay.
You come to other provisions and then you go to the constitution itself. There are 17 provisions in the constitution we need for be amended. So then when they do all we don't package and we try to make sure say we roll those out.
Okay, the program we listen to now Good Morning Salon and it come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Inside the program we still get the Attorney General and Minister of Justice when Alpha Sesay as in there for talk about the constitutional review process and serve tripartite report and all that in them we get to do with the justice sector of the country. Well, the program they continue for look at issues them. Inside 2018, the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy been start their operation for talk about seeing them where salon people for know where governments they do. Because of this, where governments been sign one agreement with other African countries them for promote open government partnership na salon. And according to the chairman for the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy, Joseph Monda Bindi say, one research where some international people do for know how the country don't they implement some palliative them where they inside this OGP in say salon don't they do well for sake of the implementation of the NCR. Well, he explain more to a reporter Usman Kamara inside this interview.
NACED a mandate na for we promote civic education and for make people they aware of their responsibilities as citizens in this country, and also for promote development we will enhance development of the country.
You just came at the office a few months back. Firstly, I want to say congratulations on your appointment. How the office done like since you come in? So
since I take over, honestly, in January 2025. I would say we don't continue for promote the work. The work they were go admit before me, we don't implement them. Some we don't do for implement, some we continue for implement. And also we don't initiate new programs for this year 2025. Like where I don't come and engage all the partners them, both international partners and the local government ministries, etc., where they all for support for put on under the work of NACED for go before. We don't revise with strategic plan for inject new thinking we will make we do the fine. We don't prioritize with engagement of the people in this country on civic education. We now will focus on major priorities of government and make sure say the people that fully be aware and be informed adequately. The office is not interesting. It's challenging office, but it's nice doing the job.
Okay. Recently, we see Sierra Leone participate in the OGP Africa and Middle East regional meeting in Kenya. We NACED been part of. What's in this meeting they about?
And before we go Kenya, our government don't sign commitment for say it go promote OGP in this country. President Bill also signed that commitment. Now that make it establish this office and that make it empower for law to do the work on the open government partnership. So key ministries and agencies been don't sign commitment. Commitment they don't put on paper and agree with you for say then go achieve certain targets in 4 years time, like ACC, Sesay way there for the extractive industries, Office of the Ombudsman, Parliament. How they go do the work they openly for the good of this country. So now that commitment when we don't do, now it will go report on that. All the other African countries and the Middle East countries then we come in the conference for see what each country they do. So it was a big platform, it's a landing platform for go learn from other countries how they do their own business. So that when you say come, we go able to adopt best practices.
So in brief, what in Salone present in terms of progress?
They can do assessment. There is an international assessment for all countries where they send out community. And the interim monitoring report mechanism. So they don't do them for all countries. And that report we don't publish here. It is in social media, it is at the website, it is at plenty domain them. So Sierra Leone in that assessment performed extremely well. Not to mean they say it is an international assessment that was for all countries. That our commitment is turned to be very good, 72%. We don't already implement over 50% of the total commitment we say we do in 4 years. So meaning Sierra Leone is progressing very well. And based on that, in that conference we'll go this year, in Kenya, Sierra Leone was a shining star. Now be example for other countries made them emulate. So every discussion, Sierra Leone was mentioned as best practice country on OGP. And based on even that day, Sierra Leone was given a certificate, for participation and the best work. So now Sierra Leone no more don't boldly count say they revise and make triangle law about people in the way they work in our big offices. Now the village then where they go tinap and they right, they can go take case in the court. They did it over 10 years, then they give judgment. So now that kind of thing and they will say we want for put straight and it will be good for everybody in the country.
Well, the program we they listen to now, Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, you be they listen to the chairman for the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy, Joseph Munda Bindi, where they talk to Usman Kamara inside that interview there for second one agreement where it say according to what international partner they do and self the research where they do show say Salon don't do well for second implementation name of the team name where they inside the OGP. The program where they listen to now Good Morning Salon and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will bring this edition. My name is Kabia.
And my name is Chunglo Jalo. Come to again, Mr. Minister. We talk on so far what in different institutions and do as part of what in the capacity to be recommended and go do. But one person or one institution where people on the point finger and say and then they refuse for do certain things with the recommendations in our ECSL we don't two lights on. But I take it back again to one of the reasons we make APC inside June 14, 2024 being pulled out from the agreement because I feel say this institution don't do what they're supposed to do. How far I don't come from last year to now with regards to that one day when in the opposition?
No, we don't make significant progress. One of course, for government, opposition are part of government. So even the opposition in participation in government, na progress. You see, after of course going back to the agreement for national unity, you see we brothers and sisters na APC. Then sit them back in parliament, local councils them, then go there and you see, over the past, since that 10 days, we don't get a lot of engagement together. Some the people they see publicly, some the people don't see publicly, right? Because not everything will be post out there, but we don't work. But we get agreements and disagreements over certain issues, but that's in our governance. They can say we all like Salon, we all just get different ways where we show that love day. You understand? So that's really not part of the progress we don't make. Like I say, we brothers and sisters at APC, they participate in the oversight committee. We get for do with the implementation of the tripartite reports. Yes, the implementation of tripartite recommendations. So you see, they're part of that process, So we are doing this together. That's in itself a considerable progress. because as we've been done note, the whole idea of the tripartite process not to really for play out with disagreements. Now, first for acknowledge, say, we get disagreements about the conduct of elections, and then disagreements say not only get for the 2023 elections. President Biosef don't talk publicly say in 2012 when the ECSL declared former President Nkrumah the winner, he protested, right? He been get for challenge the results and all of that. We see the same thing in 2018. We say Dr. Samuel Kamara being get for question the results. So President Bio, a whole idea about this was that if each election cycle we get to call election denial, then maybe there are certain things and we're wrong, but we all forget together and reform, because when we reform with electoral systems, now we all the benefit. So okay. The idea basically is we look at the progress where we don't make, acknowledging say we get disagreements, but we look at the progress where we make, we build on them positive things and together it will deliver for this country an electoral system where the people go up embrace, where the people themselves go down accompany. So when we get to elections, we go vote peacefully, we declare results, and then the country, including without ever no win, able for embrace the winner, and then we grow salon together.
So one thing where the opposition and government they go back and forth now they all get to do with political praising at them. I remember the last time we get the chief minister and I have been they say that the opposition not being able for present comprehensive names them of the one they win a political praising at them. You know the AG and are you in charge of this? You don't receive anything?
Oh yes, and that in itself we don't make considerable progress on.
Okay, so almost when I receive.
Well, first we receive a list from the APC. We been get names of 318 people. Right? First it was about 355. Ridwan was 318, which come out as the official list. But what we do when we receive that 318 list, we say first make we check whether all them people in government custody. Right, so what we do together with the APC, right? That's in the Deputy Minister of Justice, me and with brothers and sisters at the APC, we meet in my office. The Mayor of Freetown, Mayor Akisoya was there, the Deputy Chairman, Vice Chairman of the APC, when Ambassador Yansane was there. One of the chairmen then at the constituencies at the East Medk was there. The former deputy, the former leader of the APC in Parliament and former running mate to Dr. Samuel Kamara, Chaikoko, was there. The Secretary General of the APC, Lansana Doumbia, was there. We all sit down, of course, legal advisors, Africanus and all. We sit down, we agree saying the correctional service leadership will use that list for look around the country and really verify say those people were in government custody. When correctional service come back, then count a comprehensive list for see how plenty of them people and they been already don't go through the justice process and then don't go out. So correctional service can determine say of that 318 names, they 15 been there in government custody. But what we did was that we take the list again where correctional service come with, and then 15 names in there, we give the APC. Excuse me. We give the APC. And then self-check through an NGO called Poorman's Clinic. Then the APC come back. When they come back, that 15 will not come down to 13.
Okay.
So we get a committee we call the Resolution 4 committee we President set up. And even that committee, when President set them up, with brothers and sisters in APC, they come back and say, no, then say one nominate 3 people. We say, fine, they nominate 3 people within the committee. We all sit down, we look at then 13 cases and then we come up with a plan. We realize, say, someday where we need for recommend to government, say, may government dispose of them. Fortunately, meeting at the committee, because when matters not only concluded in a court, now the Attorney General through the Director of Public Prosecution, now in they take the legal step for discontinue the matter then. So what we did was that 10 people out of that 13 been the face trials in Makini.
For which crime?
Various crimes: murder, arson, malicious damage. But they've been under in custody for long, right? They've been in custody since 2022.
So, Age, one quick one before you talk about what you do. So then come with this 318 name, then una say the correctional service been given a 15 name, then APC go check back, then come up with 13 name. So then balance name the outside and come out. Then the 13 we say una get right now, una the power work on. In get any for the people and get anything for do with the November incidents will be happen.
No. So first, make us start with the last part of it. The list where the APC submit, and when at that, we consider people them will not get anything for do with the November 26 failed coup attempt. However, on that list, when I remember say in 2023, around end of July to early August, some other people, mainly Sujaman them, they don't arrest them because they also plot for bringing Sonko in the country. So those ones were being investigated. Matter of fact, the trial been for start on Monday. The court martial for don't start on Monday. The failed coup attempt happened on Saturday, November 26. Then people and their names being in the list, another 318.
Okay.
So one, we take them one in the out first because they're not supposed for the Nasujaman them, right, and Uman them.
APC identified and say not a member them.
Well, make I not get into that. Them in the list with the APC bring come. So waiting we say to the APC, them people also are not supposed to own them. We are not supposed for. But whether they member them, I know say APC people can kaya sometimes. I will plead say when they come, when I ask them that question, they understand. But then you say you ask them with them other people them. You been get other people them we then duplicate the names. And some of them you don't already concern them, don't grant them, so they don't pay fine. With them for pay and then don't come out. So plenty actually been back now the community they leave. So that, but the APC not been get that update. So when we check, we been get for able to provide that update to them and say now 15 people they in
Then
custody.
people also we don't set free at guest 10 Makeni stand to be corrected, right?
Yes, 10.
Okay, so this is why they ask this question. If the government at some point be do allege them people also involved by more than serious crime them and when I come back and say okay we free the people also because of putting the recommendations. So not you don't think so I don't tamper with justice.
No. When I make you say when government allege, right?
I don't think so for prove them guilty or not, and after that I can take the next action.
No. So make a come. When you say when government allege, it is an allegation, right? It becomes proof when the court determines say government don't prove in case.
So need for further investigation.
Plenty 10 days.
For make the court doing work and bring out the issues.
No. So plenty 10 days. Government they take matter in a court, and then sometimes government they win, sometimes government they lost. We get a lot of cases and we say people they don't be charged to court for criminal offense, and then they don't be set free, right? Because they acquit them. Now, we look at it this way. Recently we enact what we call the Criminal Procedure Act, right? Of 2024. That act here now replace the Criminal Procedure Act of 1965, when we don't use. Now with this new act, we get a timeline for conduct trials. So that thing today, where you can say, oh, this trial long go on for some time, this person not in the system, the thing on on for 2 years, they're not done it. We want for get rid of that. So everything is now time. So of course, whilst we wait for me to begin implementing laws and we want to live in the spirit of the law. Then people have been on in detention since 2022, right? They're on in government custody. Now the matter don't go on for several years, and of course, when matters delay, they get issues with the evidence, whether witnesses are available to testify and all of it. So we also want we look at all of that and want to put premium on the rights of suspects, on the rights of accused persons. You understand? And so when we look at all the one and then you can look at the fact saying, yes, resolution 4 now a political agreement, but to the extent that this political arrangement able for impact the rights of accused persons, I think the government for honor that, and so now that we live up to.
So AG, before we go for break, the name they wanna receive, we APC verify and all. We get any name they we get for do with APC sheriff as now it don't be one of concern from the opposition. APC say the APC sheriff now the name will then submit and say now government they delay for let them see they before pull them.
Well, so first, whilst I don't want to discuss specific names not the list. Because you don't mention this particular name and it don't they're not the public domain, I will respond to them because it's very specific, right? But the point is that yes, APC sheriff in MDD. Now make her explain, the processes. When we get together as a committee, resolution 4, we agree on certain things. One, now that if a matter in a court we not done yet, like any other criminal matter, the law give the Attorney General power for discontinue. And so we agree say we will use that process there for discontinue matters and will not don't be completed. Now, if a matter don't be completed, once it don't be completed, let us say the person don't be convicted, not to the Attorney General in powers anymore. Right? Other options were available to the person, it can appeal, or you can say the president can pardon the person. Or when the judge issue out sentence, it can consider a lot of things and we go say, even though this person don't be convicted, but for this and that, you understand, make another sentence to term of imprisonment. So at that point there, we'll be done reach with APC sheriff. Okay. We are in the young case, the judge be done already convict him. And so because judge don't already convict him, we make it clear say that the Attorney General will discontinue. But also make certain things clear. When we talk about resolution 4 and agree say the APC go submit a list, it was never, not to be ever, the agreement or understanding say as APC submit a list, you discontinue every matter. Because if not that, then we're not for even getting it for set up a committee for review. So the committee in work now for review and say, all right, this case and this case and this case qualify under resolution 4. But this case and this case and this case fall in this category. Now actual criminal conduct, now this or not that, and so resolution 4 not go able to touch them. So I just say this for make people understand. See that a name then a list no means automatically resolution 4 they discontinue a matter against that person there. Now that make the committee they review. Now this not for say na radio or we don't say we not discontinue this or we don't discontinue this. I just want to make people understand. So the idea always was we go look at this list, review and make recommendations for the one day for discontinue, and if matters they will not for be discontinued, make we able for state so another way the committee don't they conduct itself.
The program where they listen to now Good Morning Salon and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We are the Green Cam this edition. My name na Kabia.
And my name na Cheng Jalo.
AJ, you don't talk about things get to do with the tripartite recommendations. Now look into the constitutional review process we una dey on now. The 1991 constitution now one way plenty people we don't get concerned, but for sake of the thing then and the laws the way they and we been see Justice Edmund Kawan been start first for review this constitution in the left arm. Then we don't see this government where President Bill been take up office. He say one thing when go do for reform the justice sector and for review the constitution. And the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in office they in charge for do this. So now don't start the process. Now don't do different engagements then. For listeners them out there, take we through waiting at the status of this process.
Thank you. I'm glad we make reference to the work where the late Justice Edmund Kawan do. We want that name day. They ring na people and yes, because we want make family understand say now that work day we Justice Kawan do now we take to completion. Now make we take step and make we take step back and know say this constitutional review process don't go on for over 20 years. First we sign Leone Peace Agreement. We put them as one of the clauses in the Leone Peace Agreement where we translate into an act of parliament. And then we set up the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. One of the recommendations then with the TRC make for make we review the 1991 Constitution. And so we see just after that, Pakaba set up the Peter Tucker Constitutional Review Committee. And then that work day, Peter Tucker done in work and hand over reports to former President Nkrumah. But former President Nkrumah watched he needed for broader consultations, right? And so it set up the Kawan Constitutional Review Committee. 80 members of the committee, political parties, civil society, ordinary, regular citizens, and they do massive work in this country. Over 10,000 consultations. You understand? Hundreds of position papers, expert engagements, plenty. And then the Kawan submits, Edmund Kawan committee submits a report in 2017. He worked from 2013 to 2017. But then we see former President Nkrumah and government issued the first white paper, and then he left office in 2018. When President Bio came, President Bio make a commitment. You know, like how we Fambul and Kilek for say around, say people where somebody can say this game here with the donor, right? Now that's President Bio say finally make it done this game here so. Say, you know, it don't this did not go through the lives of 3 governments. Now not time for make it done. So but instead of starting a new process, President Bio say, let's go to waiting Kawan do. So really now the report where Justice Kawan submit to former President Nkrumah, we now a product of broad consultations across the country, we believe they reflect the views and aspirations, like how the TRC put them, of the people of this country, for what we call a democratic society. So now that would try to take forward. So you see, say there was a second government white paper. We being for add to the recommendations where the first white paper being for accept. So now this now we try for take to completion. We say we deal with this process. One, of course, you know, we then get a technical team within the Attorney General office. They work on the technical details. And when I say the technical details, you get for separate between the non-entrenched provisions where as per the constitution. Non-entrenched provisions, you can go parliament, members of parliament vote. Now representatives them. And then pass. But entrenched provisions, we constitution say if you touch any of the entrenched provisions, then you get for taken to a referendum. So that now we get for take to referendum for make the people get a say. So they work on then technical details, and they will roll out a public information program, you understand, for make everybody really accompany this process. We they get a process behind, like, you know, we they engage with various stakeholders, civil society, we don't start some of their engagement, then the media, we don't start, but we get for amplify them. And then we make sure, say, political parties are involved in this process, because at the end of the day, waiting President Bio don't say, now for make we conclude a process, deliver a revised constitution for this country also, where the people go embrace, we go able for live to the expectations of the people of this country.
AG, the same one have been take Justice Edmund Kawan on constitution when we go before him go turn to law. Plenty people on the raise concern say they don't do plenty consultation, and since then they some man they say need no day again for governments go come back and say law watch inside and back for Sesay way before review and back. Some person they say this now waste of government's couple. So waiting new. And waiting about the status of some of the thing them will be inside this constitution wanna take and wanna think say wanna need for go back to the people and come and do the process for Sesay will get a new constitution.
No, so not to for like really reopen waiting Justice Kawan do. The way the system says so the work is when the committee submits a report to government get for look at them and then determine the one the way it get for take. Then are the trust where the people put in the government, where you elect government. Say it takes some of them decisions and they for you. So that's nine of the white paper. The white paper now for basically state government imposition on the report, including the specific recommendations. So now that government do.
Okay.
So basically, what we don't say now that we don't get the second white paper. We even accept more recommendations. This latter part, as we work on the technical details here, so in fact the president said don't ask me whether, you know, things don't change a little bit, whether we go back to the report, you know, some more invent new things, so whether we go back to the report and accept even more recommendations. Okay. You understand? So if you want to ask about some of the things we inside the Kawan report where governments accept, some of them they will look for say even align with some of the recommendations in the tripartite committee. One, that thing where we can say the president don't consult with the electoral commission and don't announce say this are the dates on which we forget elections. We won't forget rid of that. See, in the constitution, make we get a fixed date for election. We know that. And then we also see say when they get plenty kuskas when it comes to elections, we turn off. The current committee we recommend say make we move away from this 55% threshold and come do like how some other countries they will get either 50+1 or simple majority, right? Then one in the day and I think then they we government accept. But you know, taking it outside, of course, current committee also recommends see this country best suited for do the proportional representation system. All landed inside. But you move them outside elections, you cancel some of the human rights provisions in, right? The current committee recommends say make government abolish the death penalty. So yes, government may not get the Abolition Act, but you therefore can you make the amendment to section 16 of the Constitution. It also gets other human rights provisions that we feel so for strengthening. For example, section 29, we go for the state of emergency, but make we put a new language say during state of emergency, you know go tamper with what a man in life, or you know go subject somebody to torture. You know go use that as an excuse, right? So then one in the all you get for amplify that. It also recommends say make we get started new chapters in the revised constitution. You understand? A chapter on local government for really see so we strengthen this decentralization now this country also. A chapter on public administration, a chapter on land and environment, and a chapter on national security. So then one also all na provisions there we will see inside the revised constitution.
I don't get any discussion so far for give the president more time from 2 term to 3 term or so.
No,
as
so,
people don't do more.
So the answer to that question there is no. Of course, when I can say constitutional review or you know broader government reforms, 2 things can happen. 1, suspicion can they lead to misunderstanding. 2, people and they will know the facts but will deliberately misinform the public. So you see say people and they will don't try for misinform the public and say, oh, with the constitutional review we want for alter the 5-year term limit, right, and make it 7. Or we want for extend so the president go run for a 3rd term. No, the president don't be very clear. It don't become very public. See, it don't intend for benefit. The way we intend for benefit from this revised constitution, now it become now as ordinary citizen because you know see after in presidency, you get for live as an ordinary person, well as a statesman in this country, right? But like you can tell about the justice system, so you can see what could make the justice system work in a way we go work for we, you know, as ordinary people. So. You get that. Now, we also know say there were proposals, right? Different parties will make proposals. One of such proposals will be come to the committee. It been come from brothers and sisters at the APC. Now, being for make you structure the constitution in a way where somebody goes serve in 2 terms, it take a break, and then it can run back later. The current committee say no, 2 terms absolute. You don't serve 2 terms, that is it. And that now waiting this constitutional review process go accommodate. So in summary, there are no discussion not to take place about changing the 5-year term to 7 years. No discussion not to take place about extending the term limit beyond 2 years. Beyond 2 terms. My apologies.
Any discussion be there around the age limit when 40 years?
So discussions been there, but then one of the things we
wanna maintain that.
Yes, the current committee not even recommend for alter that. So yes, for run for president in this country, you get for be 40 years at least.
AG, one concern only come out from people concerning first and president, and it's by Koroma when we gonna court and waiting we come out from the court now that they go on medical leave and the term we don't know for we come back and all. So you then I now as the Attorney General. So you go confirm how far when the first time presidents go come for our answer to in case them and according to one which one have been pulled na that and go on medical leave.
Well, yes, you know, the former president been sick leave of the court, and the court been grant the application or the request for make a go on medical leave. But the point is that the leave itself, it is not in eternity. Okay. You know, so now that make the court don't renew them. So it only run for like 3 month period, and then after that, you know, the application can come back, say it need an extended time for get medical attention, and then the court can grant that. So that been come up again in March this year, in the first week of March, and then the court being able to grant the extended leave. So yes, in the one out of the country right now, they within the time frame or the ambit of the leave with the court grants for seek medical attention.
AG, you said in lawyer then done the appeal for them, they don't appeal, they apply for Sesay, then go extending leave. On the check with the hospital in Nigeria, or say on a check with in lawyer then, because we don't see of recent video being come out, also celebrating back then, don't they attend church services, them for no like who's kind sick. This the first time president get.
Oh, so first, of course, me not to a medical examiner for make a determination as to whether when somebody they drive or if somebody in a party, whether that means say a well or a no well. Okay. Me not to a medical examiner for make that determination. The way then things are so they work. Now that a lawyer, they make an application. Now when the lawyer can make an application, it will state grounds on which they make their application, the application day. Now the magistrate or the judge can determine whether within the lawyer say, I'm convincing enough for make a grant the request or the application. As you know, what the lawyers can say. It also can say it need further evidence. Further evidence can mean a report will come from a doctor, you understand, or such qualified persons as the court could state, you understand. So when it comes to making the determination as to whether a suspect, an accused person, or in this case, you know, the suspect or accused person, the former president, not to me as Attorney General, they make that determination day. Now the court, they make that determination day, whether a magistrate or judge. Now that they make that determination day, say yes, what has been presented to them is sufficient for warrant that particular order day for be made.
AG, we see one picture we go around on social media outside the mayor on a free song and say the leadership of the APC we go get meeting with you. So the rumor will be they go around now that then they talk now for then the government drop the charges them against the first time president. How true is this?
No, make them very clear. Say in my discussions with the leadership of the APC, we not talk about this particular matter we get for do with former President Nkrumah. That's not a waiting we discuss. Waiting me and the leadership of the APC discuss now the review of the cases under Resolution 4. Now that me and then discuss, provide updates on the cases we been done ready for make we discontinue and how we proceed for review the other cases them. Now that me and the APC discuss. I see news around see, oh, we go discuss former President Nkrumah in case former President Nkrumah in case get for do with what happen November 26. We don't already state in very clear terms saying Resolution 4. We don't discuss with the leadership of the APC, not get anything for do with the events around November 26. It get all for do with waiting been don't happen before that, and that's me and then discuss.
Anything they perhaps sometime with government they add from the ordinary citizen, because in as much as government they say this, I mean the former president they Nigeria on medical grounds, but audio will leak allegedly from the vice president and say he was forced for left this country.
I don't get access to that audio we they talk about, and I think say this government don't be very transparent in dealings on all the issues there. So when it become very clear, say we been get forget an application for make the former president go seek medical leave. That application they happen in open court. In open court, journalists them in did it, members of the public been did it, lawyers on the government side been did it, lawyers on the APC side been did it, members of the APC been did it. Everybody see in open court where the issue was discussed. Outside, the lawyers they make the application, and then the application being granted by the court, and everybody see where the former president left. So if anybody talks say, oh, now force somebody from go out of the country, that person they no go to state the truth. The government don't be very, very transparent in all of its dealings, and that is why when the matter come up again, we can make them public. I don't make them very clear saying in March this year the matter come up again, and then then grant the leave for an extended time out of the country for medical reasons.
AG, this being said, we see one thing we don't the happen at the country, so the two get for do with the drugs issues in the country, and we don't the suicide report don't the come out, they say the Holland government don't write to the to Salon government for to say them we able for go to Umar Sheriff or just for them go send them back go na Holland for making go serve in jail time. You ask the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, you receive any letter, anything we get for do with Umar Sheriff or Josh?
Yes.
Who's one pan name them?
I receive a bundle of documents from the Dutch Minister of Justice, where now a request for extradite an individual where the Dutch government say been don't commit crimes na the Netherlands, they don't be convicted and sentenced, and then want make we extradite them. Now make we extradite
quick one na two name when you talk about here government say na Umar Sheriff na then get who's one una receive for?
Well, I don't know if government say na Umar Sheriff then get
the Minister of Information and Civic Education will call her.
Okay, what's the Minister of Information?
So who's why you receive as the AG?
I receive
the
documents for the extradition of Just Lydakas. Okay. Now make we take a step back. That not means that not to foresee the Minister of Information, who by the way, don't do an amazing job, stellar job. You understand? Don't alter the landscape. When you talk about information delivery to the people of this country. We could establish that name. And then we, of course, for everything we get for the government, don't be very transparent. Don't come out. It's like people indeed sometimes the whole nerve, and other things. It open chest to say, look me now, so I don't lay everything. You understand? Make we discuss. That is what the Minister of Information don't they do. So it don't explain saying, and the IG of Police come on the press conference with the Minister of Information host. Was that the IG of Police say yes, videos they around of an individual, and that individual in that video they don't match in face to a name on record in this country as Umar Sheriff. So that's been very open. Then are waiting.
Will they prepare any extradition for anybody in this country for go back to Holland?
Well, make cannot come and play that process there.
Will they prepare the process so far for anybody as not request, as not get a request?
So I'm trying to make a state very clear. I think we could talk about the process. When it comes to mutual legal assistance, nothing with this government they take very seriously.
Okay. Because right? The question for us now that exactly not prepare this process.
No. So they come. When it comes to mutual legal assistance, the government they take that issue very seriously. When it comes to offenses, what we call transnational crimes, the government they take the issues and they very seriously as well. But make we also lay out within the law. You understand? Make we also lay out within the law. The law under the 1974 Extradition Act very clear. The evidence where the requesting state gets, the state we don't make in finding where the request Salon for extradite, and they pass that evidence to Salon, to the office of the Attorney General. Then I'm waiting, the Dutch government don't do. I also don't be very clear say, yes, me and the Dutch Minister of Justice, we don't get a phone conversation about this. Now, when it comes to investigations in this country, me could be very clear say that the responsibility of the police, not to the Attorney General to manage investigations. Some country then where you go see say police or investigations they under the Attorney General in office. Not so we structure we system. In real system, police they under internal affairs. Now they're responsible for investigations. Now they're responsible for arrest and bring somebody into custody. Now, Usame come in. When that happens, right? The law say now the Attorney General in responsibility for take the papers to court.
So for now, we're not really prepare anything like that one until police come up with their report or
their
findings.
No, I not go one for tell you say this not exactly what we do or what you know. I just want to make you know say yes, we don't receive the papers, we don't review everything. The last time I've been talking to the media, I've been saying my office they do a line by line reading. I want for state very clearly say yes, we don't read the documents in entirety, and we decide way we for do any work on this not don't be triggered yet. So we will be triggered we don't get update from waiting to happen at the police level.
So how soon I go respond, and now I don't coordinate with the police for telling so I don't receive this, and una they read them for system I go able for respond soon to the Holland government.
In terms of response, when we receive the documents, courtesy demand will respond, and so waiting happen, we immediately being there for get to the Dutch government. We acknowledge receipt of the documents. So yes, we don't respond. We follow that up with a phone call as per the request. We get a phone discussion. Now, police they do the rest of the investigations, and the IG of police we don't provide an update. I understand it will provide another update very soon on whose side the investigations there,
okay.
And then whose side any efforts there for arrest or bring somebody in custody. When that happens, then you trigger the Attorney General in your side.
Okay, continue for the between the program. So they round up a program now. Now they go now the Facebook page 077-981-9819, and I get some of the messages that we don't come. This one from Tunde Scott, they say, let me first state this clear that Alpha Sheriff was never involved in the unfortunate November incident. Alpha Sheriff was arrested 2 years ago when he was on his way to join the APC campaign team in Kenema. I hope he will celebrate this Independence Day as a free man.
This person from a Facebook page where na Lokoma Sama, they say it was better for the government to go further in investigating trials for the people arrested for murder instead of you trading the offenses they committed for political benefit. This one they say, AG, what is the position of government regarding section 14 of the current 1991 constitution? I think it should be amended. This other post they say, we do not have a judiciary system in this country. What we have is a legal department of political party in power. Okay, well, AG, because of time now the messages and that's okay before read inside the program. As you go respond, they'll go round up the program.
Well, our first one start with my brother Tunde Scott, a message. So yes, I agree with them. Say Alpha Sheriff, nobody not say it be involved in the November 26 incident. Waiting Alpha Sheriff they don't face trial and for which he has been convicted. Now waiting happen even before elections. 1, possession of a firearm, 2, concealing a firearm in a public place, and then 3, operating a private security company without license. And then 1 in the Alpha Chef they in custody for. And then somebody say we trade criminals for political benefit. No, not to that happen. Yes, I know say it's a complex issue. I don't make effort for explaining people understand. So there's a lot we will look into and realize say 1, of course, we get for balance the rights of the suspect or accused person, with of course the call for accountability, and then of course if somebody get political benefits from that, it can happen. Now we come to somebody in question about section 14 of the Constitution. So when we talk about the human rights provisions inside the Constitution, we talk about 2 parts, right? You get the civil and political rights when ending at chapter 3, but you also get to call it socio-economic rights, where for a lot of countries then you can say na things that we government for strive towards thinking. Say some can say they depend on the availability of resources when a government in obligation for provide certain social services, education, health, etc. etc. And then at chapter 2, which I will call fundamental principles of state policy. Now when it comes to section 14 in chapter 2, now in say the rights were stated in that chapter 2 day, not justiciable. So which means we will take government a court if you not provide them things in there. Unlike the one in chapter 3, we say if government violates any, you can take legal action. Do so now that's did it. Now a lot of debates on there as to whether you make their rights and they justiciable, and then one discussion. So when they get you see the present on impact don't make significant investment in education and healthcare. You understand, so you get free healthcare, for certain categories of a society. We also get, what we call it free quality education. Basic education is free. The president said, don't ask it, if we're making such significant investments, don't we think that it is time for we really make them say now a right way people for whole government justiciable for? So those are technical discussions that are happening. Okay. So yes, chapter 14, section 14, na something we don't generate a lot of debate, and that's something we discuss at a technical level.
Okay, plenty thank you for joining the program. In name na Alpha Sesay, in the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, as in there for talk on constitutional review process and self-talk about our government done the work with the opposition and other body then for implement some of the recommendation then where they inside the tripartite report. Plenty thank you for joining the program.